Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to solve inequalities given we have one variable, but we can have variables on both sides, and distributed property may be involved. So these are a little bit more complex than just where all the variables are already on one side and everything combined together. So we're going to follow the same kind of process though. We're going to first imagine it's just an equal sign when we solve this. So I'm going to go 7x minus 3 equals negative 2x plus 15. And we're just going to go ahead and solve for x, which means just get that boundary point. Remember, the boundary point is where the open or closed circle is. That's what we need to find first. Where is that going to be at? That's the boundary point. So I'm going to get all my x's to one side. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So plus 2x plus 2x. So that gets me 9x minus 3 equals negative 2x plus 2x is 0. And then I have a plus 15. Okay. So now you're going to go and get x by itself. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides plus 3 to both sides, and you get 9x equals 18. Then you divide by 9 on both sides, divide by 9, so you get x equals 2. So that's the only thing a little bit different on this, okay? You had to do a little extra steps. You had to get x all by itself. Now, remember, you need to go ahead and start making that graph. You got to make that number line, okay? So then we can write our answer as an inequality as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put 0, I'm going to put 2, and I'm going to put negative 2. Okay? So ask yourself, is it going to be an open or a closed circle? Okay? And so what you do is you look back at the original and you ask, is it equal to? Well, this one's not equal to, so it's going to be an open circle because that means it's not equal to, and it's going to be located on 2 since that's our boundary point. So it's going to be located on 2. So now ask yourself, how do we know which direction to go? Okay? So to figure out which direction to go, you're going to test a point. So then ask yourself, what would be the easiest number to test? Well, the easiest number to test would be 0. Okay? The only number that you don't want to test is your boundary point. So I'm going to go ahead and test 0, but I'm going to use the very original. So you'll notice in here, I'm going to put 0 every time in for x. So I'm going to have 0, or 7 times 0 minus 3. And the question is that less than negative 2 times 0 plus 15? Well, 7 times 0 minus 3 is just negative 3. So this whole thing turns to negative 3. And our question is that less than negative 2 times 0 plus 15? Well, that's just 15. Okay. And you see negative 3 is greater than 15. So I'm going to put a big old check mark next to it. I know 0 worked then. So I'm going to go down to my number line. I'm going to make sure that my number line goes over 0. It goes towards 0. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my number line that way. Now that you have your number line, you need to write the inequality. Okay. So ask yourself, how would you write this? Try writing it. Okay. Now, when you write it, remember, you should be going like x and then like 2. Okay, you got your boundary point, put your x. Now ask yourself, is it supposed to be smaller than or is it greater than 2? Well, our numbers are getting smaller. We're going towards the negatives. So x is going to be less than 2. Now, is it an open or a closed circle? Well, we had an open circle, so it's not going to be equal to. So then my inequality is just x is less than 2. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one here. So I got example number 2 here. This time it has a little bit more. So ask yourself, what would your first step be here? Our first step should be distributive property. So when we do this, we're going to want to distribute the 4, but we also want to take the negative 4. So I'm going to take the negative 4 to both of these. So I take negative 4 times 2x, negative 4 times negative 3. Everything else will come down. So I'm going to have 5 times negative 4, 5, and then I'm going to have negative 4 times negative or positive 2x is a negative 8x. I'm just going to write minus 8x. Negative 4 times a negative 3 is a positive 12. Then it's going to be greater than or equal to. Everything else still comes down. Negative 6x minus 1. Now on that left-hand side, I have a few things I can combine together. I can combine together that 5 and that positive 12. So I'm going to combine 5 and a positive 12, and that makes 17. And then I'll bring everything else down. So I have a negative 8x plus 17. Sorry, I forgot to mention at the very beginning, we should make that just an equal to sign. That way we are just solving for this boundary point, okay? Solving for the boundary point. So then I'm going to have equals negative 6x minus 1. So now it's just like the other example. Get all the x's to one side. I don't care what x is, which way you get it. I'm going to go ahead and move them all to the left. So I'm going to get rid of the minus 6x, so I'm going to plus 6x, both sides. You can do it the other way. It doesn't matter. You should get the same answer for the boundary point. So negative 8x plus 6x is a negative 2x. Everything else will come down. I have a plus 17 equals a negative 1. Because the negative 6x and the positive 6x cancel out. Minus 17 from both sides, minus 17. So you get negative 2x equals negative 18. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to go ahead and divide by a negative 2, divide by a negative 2. So x equals 9. X equals a positive 9. So that is our boundary point. So I'm going to go ahead and make my number line, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on 9. So I got 9. I'm going to put my 0 there, and I also like to put the other one, I'm going to put a negative 9. Now I'll go back to the very beginning. What type of inequality is it? Well, it says greater than or equal to. So I'm going to put a, that means that we need a, what type of circle? Well, we need a closed circle. So I'm going to put a closed circle on 9. Now I need to go back and test a number. Okay, so this is where it comes in. We got to test again, okay? So I'm going to test 0, and I'm going to use the very original. So I'm going to do 5 minus 4 times 2 times 0 minus 3. I should put times 0, yeah, minus 3. And we're asking ourselves, is that greater than or equal to negative 6 times 0 minus 1? Now, you could just type that whole left side in a calculator. Okay, when you type the whole left side in the calculator, you should get, see here, that's 0 minus 3, that's negative 3, 12, 17 on the left-hand side. Okay, and then we should get greater than or equal to, what's the question? Is it greater than or equal to negative 1? Yes, it's okay. It's okay, so our number needs to, so 0 worked. So we need to be going towards 0. Okay, we need to be going towards 0. So my number line is going to go towards the left. Okay, since 0 worked. And then I'm going to have my number line. Now I need to write my inequalities, so I'm going to put x, and I'm going to put 9. And then since it's less than, I'm going to have less than. Okay, x is less than 9, but it's also a closed circle, so we need to make sure we have the equal to part. And there is the inequality. Okay. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Have a great rest of your day.